Do you see the totality of the circumstances they're living in? It's hard, man. You're a white guy with white privilege. You wouldn't understand. That's what they think. Should I give it to him, Mr. Producer? Should I tell him what has happened?
Yes. Context is going to be so important here.
Yes. Because I don't want people to clown him too much. Because the man is dead. He died. But you kind of don't feel as sorry for him because he died under the weight of the policies he pushed to create. So I feel bad. I don't want anybody to be killed in the streets, for thuggery, to take somebody's lives. But for this specific man, it's a life lesson here that I'm kind of like, well, you get what you pay for, don't you? You get what you ask for. You push all these things, and then you see the results, and the results came back on this man. So let's talk about who this man is. There's plenty of people who don't know. Ryan Carson, for those who don't know who he is. Ryan Carson was a political activist in New York. Now, the thing about Ryan Carson was he was very vocal, much like political activists are, about everything under the sun. So there was no debating on where he stood on the issues. It was very clear. You could see exactly where he stood, where his stances are, what side of the aisle he was on. Just a hint, he was very leftist. What side of the aisle he was on, what type of policies did he push as an activist? Him and his girlfriend were activists. He was about to be married. But Ryan Carson, let's just look at some of his views.
On police control and abolition, according to conservative outlets commenting on his social media, Carson used the acronym ACAB, all cops are bastards, in posts and celebrated the damage of a police precinct during the 2020 protests.
He celebrated it. You can keep going.
And one of his own posts reportedly said this is really good.
Oh!
In response to images of a police precinct being attacked during protests.
Oh, what a shame.
What a shame.
What a shame that, a good man such as himself fell to that type of fate. And what type of fate was it? We're going to get to that. We want to share it later.
Yes, we will.
We're even going to show a couple videos as to what happened to Mr. Carson. But he had a stance that law enforcement was the bad guy. They are the bad guys. When a district or a precinct got taken over by mobs of idiot thugs, he said that was great. This is good. That's what he said. So let's look at his idiot statement number 2. These are things he publicly stated. This is not nothing I had to go dig to find.
Number 2. On reform and retribution, he had this, actually after his death, a Reddit user who knew his views shared this. Police funding and scope of their jobs should be cut back to only focus on violent crimes. Reform the justice system. Abolish bail.
Abolish bail. That's crazy. So he thought that only violent crimes should be punished. Only violent crimes should be pursued by the DA. That was his beliefs. And then you should just get out. If you commit a crime, even if you do a violent crime, you shouldn't have bail. Police shouldn't get to hold you. You should just be free until your court date, which could be months and months later. That's what this man believed. Now, the craziest part is like, these people push these policies with all their heart and soul, and they really think they're doing something. They really think they're doing something because let me tell you something. The reason why they think they're doing something is because typical white liberals, and it's not about race, but sometimes it is. And the reason why it is in this case is because a lot of white liberals think that they're better than black people. They think that they can look down on you because they're the white savior who is sent here to save you. Sometimes even save you from yourself. You're too dumb. You know, we should play that one video.
We should, right. You're right.
You know what? If you could pull it up whenever, but it don't matter. Whenever you want to play it, even in the middle of me talking, you could play that. But the thing about it is these white liberals, they look down on you. They believe that, oh, these idiots just can't stop killing each other, so we shouldn't lock them up. I mean, they don't deserve to be locked up. They should have the freedom to commit crimes and steal and loot because they just can't do anything else. Do you see the totality of the circumstances they're living in? It's hard, man. You're a white guy with white privilege. You wouldn't understand. That's what they think.
Monkeys will be monkeys. I will give you bananas.
That is what they think of you. That is what liberal politicians actually do. Monkeys will be monkeys. Let's give them bananas. That's what they think of you. For anybody who thinks they respect you, oh man, I vote Democrat because Democrats actually respect us. Respect us. They don't respect you. They don't even like you. They believe you're an animal and they let you frolic and destroy stuff, but only in your own neighborhood. And that's the point. They never consider that it will come back and bite them in the butt. They never consider that because they have their little gated communities where they do their little important stuff over here. But you stay over there. If you want to loot, don't come. We're allies. Don't come to our neighborhood and loot. You can, but you have a right to express yourself over there in the hood. You can do that there.
Just don't come here.
Just stay that over there.
Right. Yep.
I gotta charge my cyber powered car way over here, away from all those thugs. They do not care about you, dude. Here, let's go to. Does he have an idiot statement number 3?
He does.
Yes, he has endless idiot statements, but I only picked a few.
And he also says this: abolitionist leanings. He was involved in left-leaning organizing spaces that included calls for prison abolition, or at least significant reductions in incarceration.
Okay. The reason why I'm laughing is because the story is insane when you see how it ends for him. That's why. Okay, but anyways, you can go on.
It just gets better. Harm reduction advocacy. As a co-founder of NOOD New York, he promised safe consumption sites, decriminalization of drug use, and access to overdose prevention tools like naloxone. That's Narcan.
Yes. We both know what that is.
We both know what that is.
And not only that, but I don't want to give away personal information about what we do, but I do want to say this. There's this idea from liberals, and it comes from liberal people, that you're going to help people by making it easier for them to take the very poison that destroys them. And it couldn't be a more stupider way to think. Well, if they're going to do drugs, let's make it clean and safe. If you're going to do drugs, by nature, drugs are not clean or safe, you dumb idiot.
Hello?
What type of dumb idiot take is that? If you're going to crash your car at 1,000 miles an hour, at least wear a seatbelt. That's stupid. Anybody who crashes their car going 1,000 miles an hour is going towards death. You wearing a seatbelt doesn't do anything. If you don't care about your own life, why should I care more about it than you do? It's so stupid to think like this. Only liberals think like that. And guess what? Here's what pisses me off about it. They use you and my tax money to do it. So it's not enough that these people go and steal stuff off of buildings to go pay for their heroin dose. They want you and my tax money to provide them clean syringes so they can shoot up through their veins. And they go around towns. They do it in our town too. I'm not going to say where. They do it in our city too, where they drive around in these with funds from the government. And they go around in these vans and hand out clean syringes to people under bridges that use heroin. And y'all think that's a good idea. Some of y'all vote for this dumb stuff. Now, not my fans. My fans would never do I shouldn't say fans. My watchers, my brothers would never do nothing like this. But there's some liberals out there who do think this is the smartest way to go about crime. Make it easier for them. Abolish any consequences. Take away bail. Abolish prisons. What is wrong with these people? What consequence? You could tell these people ain't never been spanked in their life. Because if you ever had a consequence as a child, you would understand how good the effects of it is. Oh, man, I can go on this forever. So,
He's got a few more statements in this one. I wanted to go over here because if you thought you were worked up, just wait.
Y'all gonna give me a heart attack.
Community-based safety. He supported alternatives to police. Alternatives to police.
Like what alternatives?
In line with broader progressive and abolitionist organizing, it's this.
What, social workers on roller skates?
Investing in mental health care and housing.
We don't do that yet, right? Most of our, I don't want to, doggone it, I'm going to throw my hat. Go ahead, you can keep going.
And the last one about social media and public statements. Carson's posts often aligned with movements like defund the police, mutual aid, and restorative justice.
Oh, I hate restorative justice. I hate it. To the core of my being, I think that punishment is great for people who do wrong things. If you beat up your girlfriend, I think we should bring back what they do in a lot of Asian countries. Public caning, where you string somebody up. You say, you punched your wife? Oh, you thought wasn't nobody gonna find out? Tyrone, that you beat your wife for the 5th time this week? Strap him up, boys. Strap him up, hang him up, take a little stick, whoop that boy, give him 20 lashes. You would have no more domestic violence ever. And anybody who disagrees with it, they probably the ones beating their wives. I don't beat my wife, so I have no issue with that. You'd never catch me getting beat. And guess what? Here's the solution we can all come to in the middle. Yeah, if you had public canings, you could abolish prisons because wouldn't nobody go?
Right.
You get that public caning down, 20 slashes. After that, go free, sir. Go forth and sin no more. Then you'd have no need for them to go to jail or prison. That's my solution. I think that's a great solution too. In fact, when I become king, I'm going to emulate that as my first line of order. Did he have any other statements, Mr. Producer?
That's it for the statements. It was
so.
Thankfully,
he had something else too that I wanted to go over, and what it is okay. You know what?
Should we go to the videos?
Yeah, show what befell of this young, smart, liberal gentleman.
Police have identified a person of interest in the deadly stabbing of a community activist in Brooklyn. Tonight, Ryan Carson is being remembered as someone who fought to make our streets safer. CBS 2's Ali Bauman has the video of the man police are looking for in this random attack.
The last few moments of Ryan Carson's life are on this surveillance video. The 32-year-old sits beside his girlfriend at a bus stop on Malcolm X Boulevard in Bed-Stuy early Monday, while a hooded man walks past. Moments later, the couple starts walking, and the hooded man kicks a row of mopeds parked on the sidewalk.
Hooded man.
He then turns his attention to the couple. Carson can be heard trying to calm the man down.
Mr. Carson begins to immediately tries to de-escalate the situation.
Police say the hooded man then pulls out a knife. We're freezing the video before he stabs Carson in his heart, killing him.
As Mr. Carson lay dying on the sidewalk, the male with the knife kicks him in the chest, threatens to stab the woman companion, and spits in her face.
Moments later, a woman is seen walking over, apologizing to the couple and referring to the assailant as Brian. Police say the assailant had been arguing with that unidentified woman before the attack.
And this is what I do want to say before, we poke fun or say anything funny. I think that that's evil. And it's not, I can't, that's an understatement for me to say that that's evil.
Yeah.
This dude who stabbed him, he didn't know him. He didn't stab him because, oh yeah, this dude did anything to him or he had any previous beef with this guy. He was walking past the street, he saw a white couple, and he knew that they would be a victim. And he started messing with them, toying them. And even if he did have a beef, let's say for some reason, maybe he thought the guy was somebody else, right? Which he didn't because he actually admitted to doing this. Why did he spit in the girl's face? He's just an evil person. So let's get that out on the ground right away so nobody is confused thinking I'm happy about this.
No, not at all.
Or that I'm like, oh, ha, ha, he died. No, it's a very sad thing. I wouldn't wish this on any of my enemies, right? I would not look at this and say, ha, 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 this dude just died. And I don't care because he's a liberal. I don't want this to happen to anybody. I think it's a cruel, evil thing. Go ahead. You were going to say?
We've got a comment. Michelle Kenner says, strap him up.
Strap him up. Strap him up. And here's the thing. When somebody does something like this, and they're so blatantly evil to victimize somebody, we have to acknowledge how evil that is, right? We can't just sit there and say, well, bad things happen. Yes. Now what I am going to focus on is his own policies that he pushed created an environment for this man to feel free to do the things that he did. Do you understand? If we had an environment, because this man was all about gun control, all about prison reform, all about no bail, all about police only arresting certain groups of people and limiting police contact, all about all cops are bad guys. I bet you he wished that it was a cop there during his final moments. I bet you he wishes there was one. I wonder if all cops were bastards then. Because here's the problem. All of the policies that he pushed, I don't think he considered that they would be pivotal in him meeting his demise. Let's look at the other video, the tripping video, because here's another part of being a liberal. I have to address it, and y'all gonna make fun of him.
Yep, here we go.
But because it is kind of funny, but is sad too. Is pretty sad.
Here we go.
Go ahead, play that. So somebody put those sound effects. I didn't put those sound effects.
I didn't either. I didn't either. I didn't either. I didn't either.
No.
I didn't either.
I didn't know they had sound effects.
I didn't know until I played it. I'm sorry.
No. Somebody else did that. That wasn't us.
That was not us.
That wasn't us. But here's all right, let me calm. Here's the part that I have to address. He ran away. If you watch the whole full video, Mr. Producer's still laughing.
I'm sorry.
He ran away to leave his girlfriend behind. If you watch the whole video, he and the man are going back and forth. He's constantly being passive, saying, calm down. And the man is constantly aggressing towards him. Eventually, he gets in his mind like, oh, this guy's not going to stop. This guy's going to keep coming. What does he do? Does he get in front of his girlfriend and start throwing hands? Nope. He runs away so scared that he trips over a bench, which leads to him falling, which leads to the man easily being able to stab him.
Yep.
His cowardice led to his death. And I don't say that lightly. I'm not saying that to make fun of him. Because he was a coward, he died. And there's so many ways I can go with this. Say that he got away and left his woman behind and she got stabbed up. Would he be able to live with himself then? As a liberal man, he probably would have. He probably would have been like, well, better her than me. I don't understand how these liberal dudes think, but they are definitely the softest dudes on the planet. He's with his girl. They just came from like a wedding party or something. That's why they're dressed so nicely. And the guy approaches him as they're sitting on the bus stop. would not de-escalate. He ends up running so far fast and not knowing where he is. He runs into a bench and falls and gets stabbed up. The irony and the lessons in this are immense. One, his liberal policies led to men like this walking the streets of New York. New York is one of the most liberal places in the United States. They do not believe in any type of criminal people getting any type of payment for their wrongs in New York. People steal freely. All types of crime is going on there. And two, him being an activist, being with his wife, and running away like a coward. Instead of if he actually fought back, he would have had a fighting chance to live. But since he ran like a coward and fell, that's what led to his death. And it's really hard for me to be like, yo, I feel sorry in the sense of I don't want even my enemies to be killed by an even bigger idiot, which is the thug who did it. It wasn't like the thug is doing anything we wanted him to do. But at the same time, it's like, yo, man, when are these liberal people going to learn? This is what it leads to. Ryan Carson, a 31-year-old poet and community activist, and his girlfriend, Claudia Morales, were returning home from a wedding in Brooklyn in the early hours of October 2nd around 4 a.m. They were waiting at the bus stop on Malcolm X Boulevard. That should already gave you a hint. They wasn't in a good neighborhood. If they was on Martin Luther King, they might have got shot. But Malcolm X, they got stabbed. And that's when it happened. It was an unprovoked attack. A young man later identified as Brian Dowling, 18 to 20 years old, randomly approached and shouted, "What the F are you looking at? I'll kill you." He pulled his knife and stabbed Carson multiple times when he attempted to calm the situation. The situation was caught on video, and the aftermath is Dowling fled, but surrendered to police days later. I wonder why he didn't surrender to a social worker. He was arrested, charged with second-degree murder and weapon possession, and identified via video footage and physical evidence. All right? Here's one thing that there's been a lot of misinformation about. People have said, all types of things that happened afterwards, that his wife, made statements supporting him. I don't know if that's true because I couldn't find any of that online. But it says, after the murder, some online conspiracy theories and misinformation campaigns emerged, falsely suggesting that his girlfriend, Morales, supported the attacker or staged the incident, that's insane. These claims are baseless and not supported by any credible sources. So, the reason why this had came back is because he got sentenced in 2025. This happened in 2023. Dowling pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. In a plea deal, he received a sentence of 20 years to life, formally handed down in February 2025. So they got to speak and at the sentencing, his girlfriend, who's still an activist, still left-wing, still believes in the same stupid rhetoric that her deceased man believed. It goes to show you, like, stupidity, sometimes you can't change it. Sometimes you can. You just have to defeat these people, because if you don't, they gonna get their family will be swallowed up, kids will be swallowed up, and they'll still be marching against the cops. These people aren't smart enough to do what's right. They don't deserve to right the vote. They're too dumb. So I don't even it's hard for me to feel sorry for her, especially because you get the man, your boyfriend, even though he was a coward and ran off, he died because of these policies, and you still going forward being an activist? You're a dummy, man. He died for what? You didn't, at least his death should teach you a lesson. He said to them, "But now let one who has a money bag take it, and likewise a knapsack, and let the one who has no sword sell his cloak and buy one." Jesus was saying to his disciples, it's coming a dangerous time when you're going to need a weapon. You're going to need a weapon to protect yourself. It is the stupid ideology and falsehood going around now saying that Christians cannot defend themselves. I'm telling you, as a Christian, if you don't have a gun, you should buy one. Because it's going to come a time where thugs and evil rules, right? I don't believe we're necessarily in that time yet. But it's coming a time where evil is going to take control and people are going to be running amok with no response. And you're going to be tasked with defending your family. And you're going to be the one that has to stand up and say, no, y'all can't come up in here with that. Just because we've had it so cushy that people have, can call the police and expect them to come in 5 minutes, that doesn't mean that that's going to always be. You should, while we have the chance, you should arm yourself. Arm yourself. Because I'm telling you, if I'm walking with my wife down the street and some dude try to stab me, he better make sure I don't see the first swing coming because he will not get a second one. If a thief is found breaking in and he is stuck so that he is struck so that he dies, there shall be no blood guilt for him. But if the sun has risen on him, there shall be blood guilt for him. Basically, what it's saying is the Old Testament law permits self-defense. If somebody's breaking in your house and you strike them and they die, they didn't have guns back then. If you strike them with a stick, you strike them with a sword and they die, so be it. So be it. Don't feel sorry for people who put themselves in evil situations and then get an evil, dark result. That's your fault for coming up in here thinking you was going to play with everybody. Everybody, I tell people all the time, everybody ain't going to play with you. Just because you play with somebody else don't mean you can play with me. And a lot of Christians are too soft to stand on that. That don't mean you have to go and be all braggadocious and talking about, and oh man, I'll be doing this and doing that, and can't nobody do it, and you come up in here and I'm a no, you don't got to do all that. All you have to do is mean what you say what you mean, and if somebody wants to take it there, make them regret taking it there. That's what my dad taught me. One of the things that he taught me is if you get jumped, and he really taught me this. He said, if you get jumped, you walking down the street and 5 dudes want to fight you and they want to jump you, the first dude who take a swing, make him pay so bad that the rest of the dudes will feel like this is not worth it. And I've always lived by that. I've always lived by, if you want to play, if you want to come at me as a man of God, I'm going to show you that I have respect for myself by not letting you do whatever you want to do and take whatever you want to take from me.